Hi, and welcome to Makeupbyrose. This is my very first tutorial on putting on makeup. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to bring you this opportunity. As you can see, I've set down the foundation. I've used Naked Skin foundation and concealer from Bobbi Brown. And I've also done a little bit of contouring here with Bare Essentials bronzer. I can show it to you here in just a second. Let's see. I'm sorry if this is a little bit awkward, but it's Bare Essentials, and it is in the, it's called High Dive. So that's been the bronzer. We're going to touch it up a little bit later. This, I just wanted to get the basics down for you so we won't waste too much time. And then we can move on with our tutorial. I'm also going to be using palettes today by Lorac Pro Palette, and we're also going to be using the Smoked Palette, which has been the two reviews that I've done so far. And I wanted to share with you a little bit about how to work with it. You know, there you go. And also, I've primed my eyes with the original Urban Decay Primer Potion. So we're all set to go. The first thing that I want to do, and again, bear with me, if I miss any products that I show up on here, then just let me know and I'll go back and let you know. But the first thing I want to start out with is the Makeup Forever Professional. It's the black. It's an aqua shadow. It's an OE. OE. If you can see if that, there you go. All right, the first thing I want to do, and I'm going to run through this sort of quick because I only have a short time to get all of this in, is I want to go ahead and start out, if you can see this, is by lining out the eye in black. And we're going to do something like a smoked gray kind of look. I haven't decided, because most of the time when I do these looks, I am creating it on the fly, and I'll be honest, that's what I'm doing today. So, so you take the black liner and or the shadow, and you just smudge it out here, like that. Kind of going past the eye, just a tad, just a little bit. And you do the other side as well. Hopefully you can see me. I have you stuck to my mirror, so there you go. That's smudging out really well. I'm using a MAC 228. For that, it's got the skinny little end on it. Very small detail brush. As you can see, we've got our, it doesn't have to be too clean. It just has to be on there, so to set a little bit of a base. Now if you want to do a darker smoky eye, you can go with the black all the way up here, which I've done before, but that's not going to be today. The next thing I want to do is start right in with our eyeshadows. I'm going to start in with the dark Lorac Pro Palette Gray in Slate. So I'm going to take my shader brush, which is a MAC, what is that one? Oh, you know the number's rubbed off, but it's this one here. If you know what number that is, let me know. And I'm going to dip into that slate gray, and I'm going to go ahead and pat it on top of the liner and on the lid and everything involved. But don't go past the area of your crease. Right here is where your eyeball meets the bone in the back of your eye. You don't want to go past that right now. But do take it from the corner all the way across to the other corner. Okay, and we'll do this side too. There we go. I'll use a little more. Just pat it on there really good. These shadows are so good. They do blend so well. I love the Lorac Pro Palette. All right, see that right there? Good. So you got a nice coating, and that looks really, really nice. In the corners. And there, we don't want to wing it out right yet, okay? Just have to look like that. Okay, so then we put that away for now. We're going to take the Smoked Palette now from Urban Decay, and we're going to use Mushroom, which is this lighter gray up on top here. And so you're ready? So what you want to do is get at the very top of the crease line here, and you want to blend that out. And then also, again, in the same kind of motion that you did the other one, you want to do the same to this one. And, you know, just renewing your brush as you need it, using that same brush. Okay, there you go. Alrighty. Make sure it's blended really good. And now you want to start taking this, and if you go like this to your corner of your nose, like that, you see the edge of your eye. Right there is where I want the shadow to stop. So you kind of want to mark that. Same thing with the other side. Right there is where I want to mark the shadow to stop, and you kind of smudge it over so you have kind of a line. So that's easy. A lot of people I've seen use sellotape or tape or scotch tape, and that's, you know, really not necessary because that's a good trick to do. So you kind of want to keep that going with the lighter color here that you have. So you get like a little bit of a winged effect going out like this. See, that's really important. So you have a nice one. There you go. And we'll touch it up as we go. So now your eyeshadow should look kind of like that. So you have a little bit of a wing shape, and we're going to touch that up in just a little bit too. So what happens is that now you're going to take a blending brush, and I'm going to use MAC's 217. I'm sure you've seen this quite a lot in a lot of makeup tutorials. So you take the MAC 217, and what you want to do is just blend out the edges a little bit. It'll be more for like a daytime smoky eye. You know, it's mid-afternoon, so you can see the sun shining, really pretty behind me. Here you go. You just smudge it out. You don't have to put too close of attention because we're going to get ready to put a little bit of a different spin on this. And you'll see what I mean. Okay, now, so you got the graduating line from the darker gray here, getting really light when it comes up to this area. All right. Now, if I wanted to keep building up the smoky gray, I could, but I'm going to throw in a little twist to this smoky eye, and I'm going to infuse it with a little bit of color. In order to do that, I want to take up my, well, let's see, I'm trying to decide. This is what I mean about creating on the fly. Just wanted to let you know. I'm thinking I'm going to use my Urban Decay 15th Anniversary Palette. And this is a palette that's got all kinds of beautiful colors. And do you see this pink right here? This one is called Junk Show. And that's what I'm going to use. And so we take a little, now you don't have to do this if you want to keep your gray more gray, but I want to pat a little bit of this pink right in here. Right in this area right here. If you see that. And just blend it and make sure that it gets blent really well. Right in through there. Now it's looking really pretty. It's just a hint of pink. It does the same thing on the other side. You know, makeup is fun. There shouldn't be any real fear to doing that. So you just put that in and blend that out a little bit on top, very lightly. The harder you press, the darker the shadow, and the lighter you go, the lighter the shadow, and the more blended it is. See that? So you have now it graduated kind of like a pink effect, you see. So I like that. Now we're going to move into maybe doing a little bit of the upper area. And I'm going to stick with this Urban Decay palette, and I'm going to hit this vanilla right here, this yellow vanilla, and get a little bit on my 217, and then go here and just highlight the top. Just give it a little bit of a fling there. Can you see? A little bit of a fling here. And don't be afraid, just right under the brow. I'm going to do those in a minute. Okay, so lightly touch that. And fling it underneath here. This is really easy. See that? Real time, real easy. Go into the corner. Highlight the corner a little more. There you go. Highlight the corner a little more. And you're getting it. And blend it out now. You want to blend it across. There. See? Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Now, putting that palette aside, we're going to go next to underneath the eye. And for that, I like to use my Real Techniques brush, if I can find it. It is the angled shader brush. You can see there, made by Real Technique, which is Sarah Chapman's line, which she's amazing. I love her brushes. I love her videos from Pixie Woo. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's Pixwoo. I definitely would go there if I were you, and her videos are amazing. I'm going back to the mushroom. I'm taking some of the, let's see, Blackout and Asphalt. And I'm going to dip in both. Just a little bit of the black, a little bit of the black, a little bit of the asphalt. Shake out a little bit, and now I'm going to go underneath. This is how you do your line. This is how I do my line anyway. And you barely touch. You go in there, and you just run it across. If you get to the corner, just go up like that. Run it across the bottom. You got a nice little shaded area back here, right into the corner. There you go. And then you darken your corner a little bit with that color to make sure it brings that color out. Again, you go back to the asphalt, back to the slate gray, you do the other side. Hopefully you're getting that on film here. And you just go up, and you darken that corner really well, so you have the color meet up the corners there. There you go. And then you kind of look at it and go, well, let's see, where do I need help? Make sure it's even. We don't want that line too wide. Go with your eye shape. If you don't have a lot of space, go with a thinner line. If you have more space, you can thicken it out a little, do that. And then go back into your black color here, and then just go back to the corner. And see that? I just made a mistake. And what I do when I take those mistakes is very easy. Just do that, and you just swipe underneath. Perfect. See that? And it fixes the problem. No big deal. Just go in there, and you darken the corner again. And on the other side you do that too. You want to give definition to the side of your eyes to make your eyes look that much bigger. There you go. There you go. And now the next step will be for us to do the liner on top. And I know we started out with a little bit of liner with the Aqua Shadow pencil, but I want to infuse a little bit more of a line. So I want to take you to the Chroma Black, which is done by MAC. This is a gel, fluid gel. It's on the pro side, so but you can use Black Track, which is fine. Black Track by MAC, and that'll give you the same thing. I like Black Track. I just ran out, and I'm using this one, but this one's nice too. And I'm using a Sonia Kachuk liner. It's a fat liner because I don't want a really small thin line, and I want to do this a little quick. Here we go. I'm running out of time. I gotta hurry. Right into the corner of your eye. Out and feather out a little, just to give you that balanced little eye there on the side. There you go. Fill in the gaps a little. Tell you what, you got to be quick on these videos. There you go. A little flick there on the side. It's really simple to do. You just put your brush and flick it up. Same thing here. Get your little flick going. See that? You want to go ahead and take care of the bottom, and you want to use any black eyeliner, and I like using Perversion by Urban Decay because it's so dark. And so this is the Urban Decay Perversion liner, 24/7 liner pencil. I love it. You just go here into your waterline, and you just mark out your waterline and go to the corner. There you go. And then of course you want to do your top line. Kind of fill in between your eyelashes there as well. I'm going under the lashes and getting into the line underneath. So you have that smoked out kind of liner look. There you go. Now, we get mascara next, and I love using False Lashes by MAC.